Greetings, math fans. All right, so this is worksheet 5 for chapter 10, and today's topic is called counting. Now, of course, everyone knows how to count, okay, but what this relates to probability. You have to know the total number of successes over total number of outcomes. Remember, that's what probability is. So sometimes you have to be able to count the number of ways you can be successful and the number of ways, number of total outcomes. You have to be able to count that number. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing now in just for this worksheet. There are 9 questions. We're going to do 5 of them together, and you're going to do the other 4. Okay, so understand, as I always tell you, this has for the final exam, it's got 4 questions on this, just on this worksheet. So make sure you know what you're doing. And we're also going to be doing something called the slot method. That's how you do the counting. Okay, the slot method. So let me just give you a quick example before you even get started into this. If I told you guys you have 2 shirts, you got a red shirt and you have a green shirt. And I said, well, how many ways can you dress yourself today given that you have 2 shirts? Well, 2 ways, right? Because you can have a red shirt or you can have a green shirt. That's pretty basic, pretty straightforward. Okay, so that's for shirts. And let's say you have shoes and you have blue or white shoes. So there are 2 ways you can wear blue and white as well, right? Because you can either wear a blue or you can wear a white. But now if I said, hey, I want you to put together an outfit, how many different outfits can you have? Okay, well, you can have a, let me list it over here on the right corner. Can't you have a red shirt and blue shoes, or a red shirt and white shoes, or a green shirt and blue shoes, or a green shirt and white shoes? So now I have 4 possibilities, right? If I just said, instead of a blue, white, and what if I said an orange? That would be a red shirt with a blue shoes, red shirt with white, and red with orange, or green, blue shoes, green, white shoes, or green, orange shoes. So there are 6 if there were 3 of these. So what are you doing here, guys? Aren't we multiplying these numbers together? That's the key. Okay. So for number 1, it says you have 8 shirts and 5 pair of pants in your drawer. So 8 shirts, and that's why I'm using the slot method, because it's a slot. It's a slot you're going to write down, and then you're going to put the numbers in there, that the number of possibilities that you have. So there are 8 shirts and 5 pair of pants. Okay, how many ways can you wear the shirts and the pants? You just multiply that together, put in your calculator, I don't care, but it's 40. Okay? Number 2, you've got 4 cars, 5 motorcycles, and 3 bicycles in your garage. Ooh. How many ways can you get to school? So, besides walking. Okay, so anyway, you're drawing 3 slots. Okay, because you can have 4 different cars. You can have a Toyota Corolla or a Honda Civic, which you all should know, or you can have a Ferrari, or you can have a Tesla. Okay, so anyway, there are 4 cars, 5 motorcycles, and 3 bicycles. And you're just putting it all in your calculator, guys, because you are multiplying these together. If you do that, you get 60. Okay? Let's look at dice now. Right? Dice, there are 6 sides on a dice. So how many possible combinations are there if you roll 2 of them? That means you're going to draw 2 slots. And how many can you roll on the first die? There's 6 possibilities in the first die. How many can you roll on the second die? 6 in the second die. So you multiply those together, and we get 36. Okay? All right, I want to do number 6 with you guys. You're flipping a coin 2 times. How many possibilities are there? Okay, 2 times, 2 slots. Well, how many possible ways, how many different ways when you flip a coin different ways you can get something, right? You can get, it's kind of complicated. How many different outcomes? That's what I'm looking for. How many different outcomes can you have when you flip a coin? Well, you can either have heads or you can have tails. That's two possibilities. So we put 2 here. Okay, and then of course, flip it again, you got 2 again. So you have a total of 4. Okay, let's do number 8, and the rest of these you guys are going to do. Now this is a little bit tricky. This is a little bit different. 8 and 9 are a little bit different, so pay attention to this. 10 students in our class want to be president and vice president of the math club. That's pretty popular. How many ways can these positions be filled? So what you're going to do is you're going to draw, it's president right here, president and vice president. So it's 2 slots. So we have 10 students in our class. So do you guys agree when I'm filling the first slot, there's 10 people? Now this is where it gets a little tricky because you're like, well, what do I put in the next slot? Before I always said, well, you have, shirts and then you have pants. Well, I just have 10 students. This is where it's a little tricky. You want to put 10 here, but it's not the correct answer. And the reason it's not the correct answer is because if you pick somebody for president, how many people do you have left to pick? I don't have 10. A person can't be president and vice president at the same time. Okay, so you actually have 10 times 9. This is super important, guys. Okay, you're taking away one of those positions because you already filled, you had 10 people, 10 students, and that first person, one of them is going to be, so one's going to be president, and now you have 9 left. So then you're going to multiply those out and you get 90. And that's your answer to that problem. Okay, so most of these other ones, you didn't really use anything, right? Because like going back to the motorcycle problem, since you have 4 cars, 5 motorcycles, and 3 bikes, how many ways can you get to school? You don't say 4 for cars and then, well, I have 1 less motorcycle. It's still 5 motorcycles and you still have 3 bicycles. Okay? All right. So I would like you guys to do number 4 and 5 and 7 and 9 for me. Okay? I'm going to do them now, but you guys need to do them so you understand what's going on. Okay? Because again, there are 4 out of 43 questions on the final exam. All right. So let's do number 4 is just like number 3, except you're rolling 3 6-sided dice. So put 3 slots here. Now remember, you're rolling a die, and then you roll that die again, and then you roll it again. Okay, you're rolling a die, and now you can only roll, get 5 numbers, and you can only get 4 numbers. It's 6 numbers each time because you're not using one of the numbers up. Okay, and you put that in baby in your calculator, and you get 216. Okay, so this is you flip a coin 1 time. That's pretty easy. So how many possibilities are there? Just 2, heads or tails. Okay, that's easy. So that one is just 2. Number 7. It's a little schmutzky here. I'm going to get rid of this here. Okay, so number 7 says, oh, you flip a coin 3 times. That's easy. So 2, 2, and 2. So there's 8 possibilities. Okay? And last one, there are 15 students in our class who want to run a race. You got first, you got second, and you got third. How many ways can they win these ribbons? So remember, 3 places. So it's 15 students. Now remember, guys, if you get first place, you're sure not getting second place. So you're out of that choice if you got first place already. Now we got to go to second place. How many people can win second place? Well, 1 less because you already used 1 in first place. So it's 14. Okay, now I use 1 for this one. So how many goes for third place? Should be 13. Okay, so you multiply all those together. And if you multiply it, you get 2730. Okay, so that is the kind of the basics of counting. So we're gonna do we'll do more of these for the next worksheet as well because it's a pretty important topic to understand the counting. Okay, that's it, math fans. Have an outstanding day. Adios. Goodbye.